Interesting show for you tonight. We captioned the show Around the Continent in 160 Days. Why? Because our guest is an interesting person. He's a Pan-Africanist who's driven to over 32 African countries in 160 days with a message: Africa must unite, Africa must visit each other, drop those borders, and let's do one thing. Ras Mubarak will be speaking to us tonight, reflections on his travels across the continent and on the Africa's future. Stay with us. Welcome back. So my guest has an interesting history. I knew him first as a reggae presenter on GBC. He later on became a politician, member of parliament, later also worked with the Youth Authority. These days, he's a Pan-Africanist who wants to unite Africa. Ras, thanks for joining us. Good evening.
Ben, we're in this together. Good to see you.
No. So how do I describe you? So are you like a political activist? What are you? Give me a sentence to describe yourself.
I'm a disciple of Kwame Nkrumah.
So you're an Nkrumahist?
Absolutely.
A Pan-Africanist?
A Pan-Africanist.
Are you still a politician?
I'm still a politician. Pretty much a politician.
A member of NDC?
Card-bearing member. Fee-paying member of the NDC.
Former member of parliament?
Former member of parliament. Former head of the Youth Authority of Ghana.
Amazing. But these days, you are Pan-Africanist in orientation and work.
I've always been,
Okay.
Pan-Africanist. I've always been inclined to Nkrumah's ideology of African unity, and I think that is crucial now than ever. Africa is a very exciting continent. 1.5 billion people. Our combined GDP is over 3.4 trillion, Bernard. Sadly, we're not trading amongst ourselves. We're not even touring amongst ourselves. We don't even know each other, and that is why a president from Ghana would go to Zambia, wear a fugu, and they'll call it a blouse.
Serious?
Simply because there are no cultural exchanges. And so we have felt strongly that we needed to give meaning and life to the cause that Nkrumah started way back in the 50s and 60s.
How did you see that Zambia thing?
Well, it was interesting. I said, voila, I told you. That is why we need to visit each other. We need to learn about each other. That is why we need to promote cultural exchanges. Because if the Zambians knew a lot more about Ghanaians, they wouldn't have ridiculed it and called it a blouse.
Which is funny because when you study economics, Ghana and Zambia are very similar.
Absolutely.
Speak English, both resource intensive. What gold is to Ghana is copper to Zambia. So I'm surprised that, and if you study economics, you have to study a lot about Zambia for comparative economics. So I'm surprised they didn't know that much about us. But it also feels as if Africa likes banter. So Ghana, Nigeria, Jollof, Namibia, Nigeria. When Aisho Speed visited. Are those things healthy? When African countries tease each other, is it okay?
Well, they are healthy insofar as people are not crossing the line, insofar as people are not bigoted about it, insofar as people are not tribal about it. But what has happened in Zambia has been very healthy. It's promoted the Fugu a lot more.
Yes.
A lot of foreign ministers are requesting for it. From our foreign minister. Next month, there's going to be a Kente and Fugu exhibition in the Zambia.
Are you kidding?
In Zambia, so it's an opportunity for people, to take advantage of and trade. And this is one of the things that we have been encouraging. That look, Africans, we've got to trade amongst ourselves. The market is so huge. If you look at West Africa's market alone, it's about 450 million. I don't see why we shouldn't be looking inwardly as Africans.
So it's not just banter, it's not just culture, it's business.
It's business, and business is key because business is unlocking a lot of potential. We've got a youthful population in Africa. And so all of these young people are looking for opportunities. The more commerce there are, the better for young people, but also the better for government because you get to generate revenue through taxes, etc. And then also tourism, which is key. And this is key because of the way global economics works. Recently, you've seen the slump in cocoa, prices on the international market. So it's crucial for governments, especially across Africa, to diversify. And what better to diversify with than with tourism? Every country in Africa has something special, something unique, something beautiful, to showcase. And we strongly believe that with tourism, we can generate the necessary resources, we can create the necessary jobs, and it will be the better for everybody. But of course, there are genuine and real problems. And one of the problems is that it's so expensive to travel within Africa.
We'll come to that. But I feel like Mohamed's role has been quite interesting. He is now the AU vice chair. He's expected to be AU chair when it's West Africa's turn. The way he's received when he travels across the continent. When you go to countries, do you get the sense of Mahama being, how is he seen? Because obviously you are from Ghana. Absolutely.
Well, he's well respected. He's been in office for his second coming, a year and 2 months. Passionate about, the issue of Pan-Africanism, of Africans taking control of their resources and adding value to all of that. Recently, he was talking about de-dollarization of the African economy. And I cringed and said, I made a post about it and said, look, we've got to pray for President Mahama and all Africans who are thinking like him, because we've seen incidences like that. When Lumumba wanted to nationalize the copper mines in Zambia, they took him out. When Nkrumah was promoting the integration of the African continent, they financed his overthrow. You can talk about Thomas Sankara and several others in Africa and Latin America who have sought for nothing but the upliftment of their people. And they have been seen as serious threats. And I'm sure you may have seen, a report by Russian intelligence, which even suggests that presidents of Burkina Faso and others are on the hit list, allegedly, of France. And so to take that posture is to bite or punch above your weight. But I believe this time around,
if you listen to where the world is now, what President Trump is doing, you listen to Canadian Prime Minister, what Europe is saying, I feel like in 2026, everybody now knows the truth. So Trump is no longer pretending, right? In the past, a lot of what the Western world did, they will deny. But if you look at the blatant rhetoric of particularly the US, why not? Why shouldn't he tell us to diversify? Why shouldn't he tell us to? I mean, that's what leaders do.
Absolutely, and that's what all other leaders and well-meaning Africans should be pushing for. That there's got to be greater integration, that we've got to diversify our economies. We should stop our dependence on, the dollar. I don't see why you travel to Zimbabwe or DRC and you can actually get USD from an ATM.
American
dollars. And the local currency is literally non-existent. That is how bad it is. You go to Liberia and you could pay for something as little as pure water with American dollar.
Are you serious?
Seriously. You could pick an Okada ride with an American dollar.
They accept the dollar.
They accept it.
In Liberia?
Yes, they accept the dollar in Liberia.
Zimbabwe?
They accept it in Zimbabwe. They accept it in DRC. And it's pretty bad for the African continent. Hopefully, if what we are doing and what others are doing is to succeed, then obviously we'll be moving away, from this dollar dependency.
So, of all the things you want to do in the world, why would you lead a bunch of 8 or so people to drive around over 30 African countries? Not by plane, you are driving.
We drove through
what is the whole idea behind that? 31
African countries. First of all, to see what the real challenges are.
When did you conceive this idea?
Early last year, and we thought that look, something has to happen. I mean, I'm not excited by how slow we are with the integration of the African continent. Several protocols have been signed, but Bernard, they haven't been ratified. The protocol on free movement, the protocol on right of abode, right of establishment, since 2008, signed by several other countries. There's only 4 countries that have ratified it.
Wow.
Niger, Mali, Seychelles, and Rwanda. And out of these 4, 2 have been,
ejected from ECOWAS.
By, ECOWAS and the African Union. They've been suspended. And so you need 15 countries in Africa to actually trigger, the protocols. For Bernard to leave Ghana and go and reside in Botswana or anywhere else and start a business, as if you were in Ghana starting a business. That is what these protocols were to, achieve. And we want to see acceleration because the pace is very slow. If you've signed all of these protocols in 2018 and by 2026 only 4 have ratified, it means you've got a bigger challenge. And so we felt we need to take the campaign to the leaders. It's got to be a people's campaign.
And you decided that you would do this by road.
And we decided that we would do this by road.
So when did you set off?
We took off from Ghana on the 18th of August.
18th August 2025.
Returned to Ghana on 22nd January 2026.
Did you ask the president's permission before you did such a thing?
Well, interestingly, I'm not a member of government.
I know.
And so I don't...
But of course, it's a quasi-diplomatic thing you're doing.
Absolutely.
You are traveling to 32 African countries.
We've had enormous support.
Yeah. So that's the chief of staff seeing you off.
That's the chief of staff seeing us off at the Independence Square. And we felt, taking off from the Independence Square was very symbolic. This is the Independence Square of Ghana. Ghana has always been the epicenter of the Pan-African movement. So it was a statement by itself that, look, this is where we want to set off from, and then this is where we want to return to. So we got back.
So who are the guys with you?
So
are they in the photo?
Yes, I mean in your shot, in red.
To your left.
To the left is Dr. Johnny Osui-Chan. He's an optometrist.
So he's a medical doctor?
He's an eye specialist, businessman. Myself, you've got Bash behind the chief of staff.
Wearing white.
White. You've got Dr. Rejoice Foley, the only female member of the team.
Medical doctor?
Yes. No, she's a doctor of letters.
Okay.
You've got Eric Japon. And as a matter of fact...
Eric is the next to him.
Eric is next to Rejoice. He's an interesting character. Because we left one of our vehicles in Zambia for it to be fixed. And Eric drove solo to Ghana through 9 countries.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Eric alone?
Eric alone.
Drove from Zambia back to Ghana.
Drove solo.
The tall guy next to the yellow guy?
The tall guy, yes.
What is his profession?
So he was a banker and communication specialist as well.
So what's happening here?
We had an accident in Zambia. This is the accident. As you can see, a truck, crossed us and then we skidded off the road. It was just miraculous.
So Eric stayed behind to fix the car?
Eric stayed behind to make sure that at least the car was in good condition.
And drove it alone back to Ghana from Zambia?
To Ghana from Zambia. Got locked up in Congo by gendarmes for not speaking French. As if, an ability to speak a foreign language was a
when he had gone through the country already?
When he had gone through the country already. When he had been received at the very highest level. Because in Congo, we're received, by the Minister for Tourism in Congo. He had all the laissez-passer, all the documents,
Drove back to Ghana alone?
Drove back to Ghana solo, yes,
And who else was on the trip?
And then, you've got Humphrey from PPF, far right,
yeah.
from my screen, and San Akologo. These are all supporters of the campaign.
And the campaign is called what?
The campaign is called the Trans-Africa Tourism and Unity Campaign. And you've got lawyer James Afedo. James was actually supposed to come with us.
Former journalist, former
BBC.
He's in
reporter. Blue. He's in blue. The thinking was that if you got to a place and there are legal issues.
Wow. So he's part of the team?
He's part of the team, yes, And,
so you left on 18th August from Accra?
In January 2026.
All right, you show me the African map. I want you to walk me through where you went to. So
we are
in, let's do it here.
Okay.
We are in Ghana.
Yes, that's where we
By the way, the green is the countries you intended to go to.
The green are the countries we've conquered or the countries we've traversed.
Wow.
And
so apart from the Sahel, you've been to almost every country in Africa?
Every country in Africa, apart from the Sahel, and 3 countries in North Africa.
So you didn't do Ethiopia, you didn't do Sudan because of the war?
We didn't do Ethiopia because of the outbreak of the Marburg virus. Because from Ethiopia, we're going to do South Sudan, then do Central African Republic, then Chad, Niger, Algeria, Morocco, then come down. That was the original plan.
So you took off from Ghana?
Then to Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon here, then Gabon, Congo.
Did you do Equatorial Guinea?
We did it. Oh, I almost forgot. It's so tiny.
So you from Cameroon, you came to Equatorial Guinea?
We came to Equatorial Guinea, Bata. Then we did Gabon, then Republic of Congo.
So this is Congo-Brazzaville?
This is Congo-Brazzaville. This is Congo-Kinshasa. Then we did vast Angola, interesting country. Angola is one of those countries in Africa you would see a sea reclamation, beautiful,
wow.
coastline, more than 10 kilometers, doing well for themselves, oil rich, but of course you understand.
Wow.
But this is a country that has been through a lot of trauma as well,
wow.
civil strife. Then we did Sam Numes, Namibia, small country. The thing,
in terms of population.
In terms of population, you know, but it's a
vastly desert.
It's a vast country, good infrastructure, but you also see a lot of ownership of land
by non-Africans.
You know, and that's a ticking time bomb, not just in Namibia, but in South Africa as well, where people have, you know, fenced off.
So in this part of the continent, there's a lot of land issues.
There's a lot of land issues. You know, now these three countries have the Trans-Kalahari border posts.
So Namibia, Botswana, South Africa.
Namibia, Botswana, South Africa. Beautiful infrastructure. And I think this is something that the rest of the continent can replicate.
So the road from Namibia to Botswana was good?
Excellent. The road from Botswana to South Africa, wonderful. The road from South Africa to Lesotho, great. Except that Lesotho is high in elevation. So they call it...
You go up?
They call it the kingdom in the sky.
Okay.
It's the #1 country in the world with the highest elevation.
Really?
Over 2,000.
So they are mostly in the mountains?
They are mostly in the mountains. That's Lesotho. But it's a very...
And it's surrounded by South Africa?
It's
country within country?
Country within country. From Lesotho to Eswatini.
Eswatini.
Beautiful culture. Lovely.
How different is Lesotho? I don't understand. How do you have a country within a country?
These are one people, pretty much. You know, but the sad spectacle in a place like Southern Africa is that kids from Lesotho at the border would go to school in South Africa. But sadly, every morning their passports have to be stamped in.
Children to go to school?
Yes. And when they are returning...
Even though South Africa is run by black people?
And they speak the same language.
And yet they have to get their passports before they go to school?
You know, this is one of the tragedies of the partitioning of Africa. So from here, Eswatini, then Mozambique.
It's a big country, you know.
Mozambique is also vast. Mozambique is very vast, equally beautiful, wonderful coastline, good seafood. Zimbabwe, beautiful. You know, they've planted a lot of flowers, jacaranda trees. As a matter of fact, Zimbabwe was adjudged the most tourist-friendly country of the year 2025 by Forbes. They're getting all the indicators right, except for their, you know, currency. And it's one of the countries in Africa that is very, very safe. You could literally, you know, go out at midnight and you wouldn't have
Mugabe and Mnangagwa are doing something right.
Absolutely. But you can't do that in a place like South Africa, for instance. Crime rate is very, very high. Parts of Lesotho, murder, crime, very high, obviously because of the proximity with South Africa. Then Zambia.
Fugu
Zambia. Or Blouse Zambia, as they call it.
And by the way, what's the average number of days you spend in this country?
4 days, averagely, because you arrive the next day, you're holding meetings.
So you are not there to just have fun. You go and meet.
No. You go and you meet leaders. For instance, in Botswana, we met with the Chief of Staff, and then we met with the Minister of Presidential Affairs.
You present petitions to them?
We present petitions. In Eswatini, we met with the Acting Prime Minister. In Eswatini, we met with the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Zimbabwe.
Wow.
We met with the Deputy Minister of Finance in Mozambique. We met with the Vice President in Zambia. Beautiful.
So these are high-level meetings you're holding?
Meetings. Because the technocrats prepare all the documents, but we don't get to act on the documents. So if there's anybody who's to be convinced, it's got to be...
So they are told that there are a bunch of 8 Ghanaians driving around the continent with a petition that what? Africa must unite.
That, you know, they've got to open their borders.
Serious? This is crazy.
And we've got to encourage trade. Now they are self-sufficient when it comes to food, poultry products, grains. Zambia, doing very well for themselves, even though landlocked. Malawi, we were received by the foreign minister. As a matter of fact, he was the second minister who was nominated, because it was a new government by the time we got to Malawi. Also a landlocked country. Now Tanzania, vast, beautiful, breathtaking. You know, if you're a lover of nature, these are some of the places.
Tanzania.
You know, you need to visit.
Did you see Lake Tanganyika?
We scattered around the lake, you know, but we got locked in here for about a week because of the political violence in Zambia. In Tanzania, they had closed their border. And
this was during the election?
This was during we got to the border when they were voting, actually.
So you couldn't enter for a few days?
So we couldn't enter for a whole week. And then from Tanzania, the plan was to go to Burundi. But, you know, the road was very bad into Burundi. So we decided to do Rwanda, come to Burundi. But the Rwandese and the Burundians don't talk to each other, so their borders are...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you can't enter Burundi from Rwanda?
No, you can't enter Burundi from Rwanda. Neither can you enter Rwanda from Burundi.
Oh no.
So we did Kenya.
You have to sacrifice Burundi.
We did Kenya and then
Uganda.
In Uganda, we were met by Excellency President Yoweri Museveni.
You met M7.
Interesting
physically.
Character.
We'll come to that. I will go back to that.
Great.
Let's wrap up the move.
So
you did Kenya?
We did Kenya, and then we were to head to Ethiopia.
Uh-huh.
Marburg virus breaks out, and then we had to come back through Rwanda into Zambia. Then we got an accident somewhere here.
Oh, it was on your second
It was
trip
on our
to
return.
So the original plan was from Kenya to Ethiopia, South Sudan, Central African Republic, Chad, Niger, Algeria,
Morocco, Mauritania,
and then come down.
Senegal, Gambia.
That was the plan.
That was the plan.
So when you couldn't get into Ethiopia because of the Marburg virus, you decided to work your way back down to Zambia.
Yes, and then because the plan was to come back and
you left the car with one guy.
We left the car with Eric in Japan, and
you flew to.
we flew all the way to Morocco.
Okay.
From here via Dubai.
Means you use other cars because when you can't fly with the cars.
The plan was to airlift the vehicles, even though it was very expensive. Each vehicle was costing us about 22,000 US.
Jesus.
You know, and then Morocco, we realized we couldn't drive to Algeria also because they are
quarreling.
They're also not talking to each other.
So Burundi is quarreling with Rwanda. Morocco is quarreling with
Algeria because of Western Sahara. Ethiopia is quarreling with Eritrea. As a matter of fact, Ethiopian Airlines can't fly directly to Eritrea.
Ethiopia and Eritrea are not talking to each other.
Not talking to
even
each
though
other.
they are cousins.
You know, and then Rwanda and
Burundi are not talking.
And then Rwanda and Congo because of
Lord. So you had to do Congo through a different route.
I mean,
you came to Congo first.
We came to Congo
first.
So
you didn't even want to go to.
We didn't even want to go to Congo because Congo. Look at the size of Congo. Congo is vast, and you know, in many parts of Congo, you've got conflict.
It's probably the second largest country in Africa, apart from Algeria.
Algeria, yes. It used to be Mali as well.
No, it was Sudan. It was Sudan, right? Before it was split. Yes, so the three were Algeria, Sudan, and DR.
And DRC.
So you flew to Morocco.
And then
the Algerians said they won't let you enter.
No, so I mean, we can enter Algeria, but you can't fly in directly, or you can't drive into Algeria from Morocco, or vice versa. Because
once you go to Morocco, don't come to Algeria direct.
You have to go outside of the continent.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
So when you got to Morocco, what did you do?
So we had to fly to Paris. And this was December.
You flew from Morocco to Paris.
We flew
so you could enter Algeria. Wow.
And then these guys also said they wouldn't give us visas.
Mauritania. Why?
Obviously, they get a lot of funding from the European Union to keep people from sub-Saharan Africa from accessing Mauritania. It's a migrant route.
Oh, so they thought you were trying to flee to Europe.
Even when,
but didn't you tell them you were just from Europe?
Our embassy in Mali, which oversees Mauritania, had written to them formally.
And you were just coming from Europe?
And we're just coming from Europe.
Maybe you look like a stowaway, somebody who could stow away. Wow. So Mauritania wouldn't accept you?
Mauritania wouldn't give us visas, you know. And so we had to fly to Senegal.
Wow.
And then drive from Senegal. And this is where I was.
So Senegal was a road trip back?
Senegal was a road trip all the way back to Accra.
All right, beautiful.
And I need to pay homage and respect to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
In Senegal?
No, I mean
in Ghana?
Our Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
All right.
Because we use their vehicles. So the embassy would drive us to the border.
Wow.
And then another country.
So basically the Foreign Ministry said, we have these 7 people who don't know what to do with their lives. So when they get to your country, put them in a car and drive them to the border.
You know, so they give us vehicle, they'll drive you to the border, another country will pick you.
Wow.
You know.
And they coordinated that?
They coordinated that. Because, don't forget,
the cars had been abandoned here.
Been abandoned in Zambia. Where is Zambia? The cars had been abandoned here.
So every country from here back to Ghana, the Foreign Ministry coordinated.
Yes, was without our original vehicles.
Oh, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to one border, the other countries is waiting.
It's waiting with the ambassador or sometimes.
But that's beautiful.
You know.
I mean, that's amazing.
Ghana has always been the epicenter of the Pan-African agenda, and the government of Ghana, past and present, buy into the Pan-African agenda. So we had.
So when the Ghana Foreign Minister calls you,
and we interacted greatly. The chief of staff was checking in on us, you know, almost every 3 days. Are you guys safe?
So the government of Ghana, even though they didn't officially send you, they knew what you were doing.
Yes.
Wow.
Because government fully understands the benefits.
Which is why when you got into trouble, so from Senegal through Gambia. I mean, this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
2 countries in one space.
2 countries in one. And then
Guinea.
And then Sierra Leone.
So you didn't do Guinea-Bissau?
No, we didn't do because of the coup d'etat.
There was a coup at the time.
They had closed their borders. And then Sierra Leone. Now, Sierra Leone is also interesting. Country that has been through war, but they are getting the infrastructure right. One of the challenges you would observe in sub-Saharan Africa is filth. Plastic waste.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. You know, in the capitals, in the rural areas. But of course, you can't find that in Rwanda.
No plastic waste.
No plastics. Whether it's in the rural area, whether it's in the town or
you won't
city,
find plastic.
You would not find plastic. You will be fined. And you can't exceed speed limits. You'll get a ticket.
Let's take a break. I'm interested in this story. We're talking to Ras Mubarak about his very interesting trip across Africa in 160 days with 7 other people. This is the point of view. Stay with us. Point of view tonight is we're taking you across Africa in 160 days. Ras Mubarak led a team of 8 across over 30 African countries in 160 days. He calls it the Trans-Africa Tourism and Unity Tour. Started 18th August, came back in 22nd January. He's worked us through. I want us to go back to the map and finish this up. So you are in Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Sierra Leone,
Liberia.
You were saying something about filth, but infrastructure.
So they're doing well. They're getting the infrastructure right. Liberia has a huge infrastructure deficit.
They need more roads.
They need more roads. You know, a lot of the countries have huge infrastructure deficit.
So these 2 countries are similar but different.
But different because they've all been through war. You know, but one is getting it right when it comes to infrastructure, and they're all, you know, pretty wealthy in terms of resources. Liberia has a lot of rubber, etc. And Sierra Leone has a lot of mineral resources, diamonds.
And then you entered Ivory Coast.
We entered Ivory Coast. We were received by the chief director of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ivory Coast, and then, of course, back home. The plan was also to do Senegal, but by the time we got here, to do Burkina Faso, by the time we got here, we were already.
But if don't forget, let's say now. You remember, only this week we've had 8 of our citizens killed in Burkina Faso by terrorists.
Very tragic. You know, and this is a situation that not just the countries, not just the countries that are affected, but the entire continent would have to work together in dealing with. I don't see the reason why, you know, the AU can't send troops to, say, Nigeria to nip the terrorist activities in the bud. I don't see the reason why they can't send troops, you know, to Burkina Faso.
But does AU have a standing force? I don't think they do.
You could build a coalition, you know, of countries that are willing to contribute troops, and this is possible. If we were able to do it in Sierra Leone and Liberia and Congo, you know, even though you could say that Congo is fully backed by the UN with a lot of resources, we should be able to do it for the rest of the African countries. Because you see, the conflict situation, one, is stifling growth, is destroying these countries, is keeping them backward, and nothing is really happening in many of these countries. And people are profiting.
Your original plan didn't include Niger.
No, our original plan included Niger. But it didn't include Mali. Because Mali is very unsafe, you know. And
so we are told that a lot of what's happening in the Sahel is from the Libya vacuum. That when Gaddafi was overthrown, a lot of weapons moved into the Sahel. So there's a lot of insecurity in Mali, to an extent Niger and Burkina Faso.
And this is the reason why Africans should stop allowing themselves to be used by foreigners. You know the life that Libyans lived under Gaddafi. You know, a very exciting lifestyle, to the extent that our Speaker of Parliament at one point lived in Libya and taught in Libya. You know, the likes of Inus Husseini lived in Libya and taught in Libya. You know, Libya was one of those prosperous African countries where people who were looking for opportunities could go to. But, you know, NATO didn't agree with what Gaddafi was trying to do to back the African currency with gold, and so they had to get him out. And even when the African Union sent a delegation of leaders, including Museveni, you know, President of South Africa and others, to intervene and talk to Gaddafi to find a situation, a lasting solution, they were explicitly told by NATO that their safety could not be guaranteed when they go to Libya. And for me as an African, I feel extremely embarrassed and ashamed that we allowed this to happen to us.
So when you look at places like Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, who have left ECOWAS, and the citizens feel like they are being liberated from France. Indeed, one journalist wrote in Canada that the day those three countries evicted the French, incidentally it's called Howard French, American journalist lives in Canada, he wrote and said that was Africa's true independence, that by kicking out the French, they were asserting themselves. You understand this? And
I completely agree. Look, if the likes of Sankara had stayed longer, Burkina Faso would have been somewhere else. If the likes of, Lumumba had stayed, because these were people who wanted to, for their people, to profit from the natural resources that they had, but others had different views and opinions. And indeed, if you look at all the conflicts that are happening, it is largely foreigners who are profiting from it. Where are these guns coming from? Who is financing, these things? If you look at the weaponry that people are using to perpetrate these acts of terrorism, it's mind-blowing. And Africa has got to stand together. There's never been a time for Africa to unite, to stand together and to work together than now.
Let's talk about a few things. Which country gave you the best welcome? Or which country do you have the best experience?
Uganda.
Uganda.
Because the entire system was, fully behind us.
Because you met Yoweri Museveni.
The Minister for Tourism.
And this was a few months to election?
This was 2 months to election.
And you met him physically?
And we met him physically.
Do you have any pictures of that?
So this is how we were welcomed in...
Oh, you are welcome in... Is this his house?
No. I mean, this is in Kampala.
You're welcome?
We're welcomed. My team was welcomed. We're drumming and dancing.
Are you kidding me? In Uganda?
Kampala.
What is this?
Yes, so this is local drink. And this is what...
Is it like Pito?
It's not like Pito. But it's locally brewed.
Oh.
That is M7 autograph.
The man himself?
His memoir for me.
He's sitting behind the truck.
So this is his farm. He's got several presidential farms across the country. This place is called Mayoge, which is about 3 hours drive from, Kampala. And he insisted
that he wants to see you physically.
That we should come.
Hey.
Because he wasn't going to be in Kampala.
So come to my farm.
Come to, because of campaigning. He was outside of the capital, And over here, he was asking us if there was a living leader in Ghana who is as old as him.
How old is he?
He's
maybe in his 80s?
80s, I think 82, 83.
Did he know Ghanaian leaders?
Interestingly, he has a photographic memory of Ghana. When I said I'm from the north, he said, "Oh, my friend Hilal Iman.
Okay,
is he still alive?"
Okay.
I said, "Oh, he passed away a long time ago." Johnny mentioned Ashanti region. He said Kufuor.
He mentions Kufuor, so
he
knows.
Said, but I don't like them. They overthrew Kwame Nkrumah.
So he's an Nkrumah.
I mean, he's an Nkrumah without apology.
Wow.
So
you met Museveni alone?
We were supposed to do 20 minutes. We ended up doing about 45 minutes.
Wow.
And there were
people. What was he doing? He
was signing his memoir for me.
Wow.
So he wrote in there that, what did he say? He said, to Mubarak of Ghana, from an old man on the equator.
So he believes in the whole Pan-Africanism thing?
Very much so. And he has been, calling on his comrades in East Africa to make it happen. What he was pushing for was to have an East African Union.
Okay.
Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, because they speak pretty much the same language, Swahili or Kiswahili.
Yeah. Wow. So you had a good experience in Uganda. Where else do you have an experience you liked?
We had a good experience in Eswatini.
Eswatini?
If you are
Did you meet the king?
The king was in seclusion.
He was doing some
there
special...
are times of the year where he doesn't come out.
Okay. And so the time you went was not the right time?
Yeah. And currently, he's going to be out end of February.
So is this Eswatini?
This is Eswatini. We're driving into Eswatini. Yes, another mountainous.
Wow. How are the roads in Southern Africa?
Southern Africa had very good roads.
So this is Southern Africa into Eswatini.
Southern Africa into Eswatini. This is actually Eswatini.
Eswatini.
We're driving into Mbabane, the capital.
Yes. So it used to be called Swaziland.
Yeah, it used to be called Swaziland.
Wow.
But it's a beautiful place, interesting. If you're a lover of nature, as I said, this is a place to be.
Some of these countries drive on the left. And so how are you able to cope with that? Because, I've driven in countries like that. It's very complicated.
And it's very difficult, especially if you are, overtaking.
Yes,
you
and
need
also
to have somebody seated in the front to see.
And maneuvering turns.
Yes,
because the way you estimate the length of the car, it's wow. So this is Eswatini.
This is Eswatini.
So who did you meet there?
Eswatini, we met the acting prime minister, who is currently the minister for tourism and environment, because the prime minister was out of the country.
Wow. And the king was in seclusion.
The king was in seclusion. And we met the Speaker of Parliament as well in Eswatini.
Okay.
And we met the Senate President of Eswatini.
Oh, that was a royal welcome.
Yes. They have the Senate and they have the.
So it's a mountainous country, very beautiful.
Very mountainous, very beautiful.
Okay. And then I'm starting with the best. Where I go to the west. Where else do you have a good experience?
Check out Equatorial Guinea.
Guinea.
And for me, so this is Equatorial
Guinea.
You know, again,
whoa!
Beautiful roads, world class.
What is this?
You know, we're driving into Bata. Bata is the second biggest city after Malabo. Malabo is an island city.
Okay. So what you didn't want to fly to Malabo?
Yes.
So you just went through Bata. So this is not even the capital?
This is not even the capital. And they are even better. So this is Bata.
Wow.
Beachfront. And you could do like 20 kilometers of this.
So from English to Tema.
Clean. Look at it. Look at the bends.
20 kilometers beachfront.
Yes. Look at the public benches.
You can see them just.
Look at the greenery, the trees.
Whoa.
And I'm asking myself. Equatorial Guinea.
Is this where they do oil? They have oil and gas.
They've got a lot of oil. This is where they eat python meat as.
Nguema. Is this Teodoro Nguema something?
Equatorial Guinea. Yes. Teodoro Nguema. Yes.
Teodoro Nguema.
Yes.
Wow. How long did you spend in Bata?
Bata, we did 4 days. And then we had to drive to Gabon from...
what language do they speak?
Portuguese. So this python meat in the local markets.
Wait, is it not haram?
No, it's not haram. The same way you could go to a market in Ghana and...
eat snails.
And eat snails. So this python meat...
Hey, Ras, we have to do ritual cleansing for you before we allow you back into... Wow. So this is Equatorial Guinea market.
This is Equatorial Guinea local markets.
Amazing.
Where you can walk in and buy, python meat.
So Southern Africa, if you had to describe Southern Africa generally, you would say good roads, good infrastructure.
But crime rate very high.
Okay. What about Central Africa? So I'm talking Cameroon, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, the Congos. How was Central Africa?
Brazzaville is doing very well, and I'm sure we have shots from Congo Brazzaville.
Can you take me to Congo?
This is Brazzaville. They're getting.
This is Congo Brazzaville.
This is Congo Brazzaville. They're getting their act together. They're trying to keep the lights stable.
Wow.
One of the exciting bridges in Brazzaville. Keeping the lights on in many of the countries.
How different is Congo Brazzaville from Congo Democratic Republic?
I mean, pretty much one people.
Okay.
Same language. As a matter of fact, you can stand in Brazza. So the Congo River, this bridge is over the Congo River. You can stand in Brazza and see Kinshasa.
Is it?
And actually see the presidential palace.
Oh, so it's the same?
It's the same thing.
That we're just split.
So
this bridge goes for the Congo River?
This bridge goes into parts of Brazzaville, but it skirts around the Congo River.
Wow.
Yes.
So they speak French? They speak French. Did you have any problems in Congo?
No, because Johnny speaks Spanish, he speaks Portuguese, and he and Francis Appiah, they speak French.
Oh, so you had a multilingual team?
Yeah, we had a multilingual team. It wasn't so much of a problem.
So this is Congo Brazzaville. What about Congo DRC?
Congo DRC, vast country, huge infrastructure deficit, obviously, because of conflicts. And I'm sure we'll see shots of...
So this is DRC?
This is DRC. This is Kinshasa, actually.
Okay.
Beautiful. Now in Kinshasa, women are designing, traffic lights.
They are designing traffic lights?
Designing and manufacturing traffic lights, robotic,
solar
powered. I'm sure you
women are designing traffic lights.
Yes, they call it women in ICT, and a lot of the traffic lights in Kinshasa are designed and built by women in ICT.
Are the yellow vehicles taxis?
Yellow vehicles are taxis. If you go to Brazzaville, they are green. If you're in
it's
Kinshasa,
greener than Accra.
Yes. The taxis are greener.
No, green. Okay, sorry, green.
Taxis and trotros are greener in Brazzaville, but they've color coded it. So these are the traffic lights. For instance, it's a robot.
Robotic traffic light.
Powered by solar. Stop sign, as you can see.
Women in tech. They've written in English.
Women's technology.
But they They speak English.
You know, made in DRC, as you can see at the top.
So this is still...
Yeah, and if it's on green...
This is Kinshasa.
This is Kinshasa.
So on green, it will lift his hand?
Some of them will lift their hands. Some of them will tell you to stop. You know, they've got different models, you know, of the traffic lights.
How big is Kinshasa?
Very big. And it's also chaotic. Because in Kinshasa, you have some people driving right hand and some people driving left hand, and it's normal.
Are you serious? Right hand, left hand, left in the
normal.
same country?
I mean, Kinshasa is organized chaos.
Oh,
you
Lord.
know, but it's a country with a lot of prospects.
How many days did you spend there?
Kinshasa, we did 4 days. So averagely, we did 4 days in a lot of the countries.
Wow.
You know, but if they were to
met officials in this country as well?
Met officials in DRC. We met the Minister for Tourism, who enjoys spending time in Ghana.
Likes coming to Ghana.
He likes coming to Ghana. He was telling us stories about his time, you know, in Ghana.
Amazing.
You know, beautiful place.
What about place? Have you shown me Zambia photos? Okay, of course, Zambia is where you got the car accident. Did you take photos?
Yeah, but we have a lot of.
Did you take any pictures in Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe, yes, you should. I don't know whether it was included in the shots.
In the pack you sent me.
But Zimbabwe is beautiful. You know, they've got these trees called the jacaranda trees.
Jacaranda.
You know, October, November, December, they blossom and they are so beautiful. You know, and of course, it's one of the places that attracts a lot of tourists.
Let's talk about Cameroon, because you told me on radio that one of your most difficult places was Cameroon.
You get to Cameroon, I mean, first of all, the infrastructure is, there's an infrastructure deficit in Cameroon.
So it's difficult to get through to them.
It's like you're marching forward and they're marching backward. I mean, no disrespect. The people are wonderful, nice food, you know, very welcoming people. But the officialdom, it's so corrupt. Border patrol officers. We got to the border. They said they wouldn't accept e-visas.
Why?
They don't accept e-visas at the land border in 2026. And what that meant was that we had to drive 10 hours round trip back to Nigeria just to get visas in our passports.
Oh, Lord.
Drive back. And they gave us 5 days visas.
Oh, come on.
By the time we could get to Yaoundé, the visas were almost expiring. So we just decided that, look, we might as well be on our way out before the visas expired. And then it was a Sunday, and they said, you know, the border is not open on a Sunday. How can
they don't open borders on Sunday? Are you kidding me?
We got to the border at 2 p.m. It had to take the intervention of the Director of Immigration
himself
around 9:30 p.m.
The head of immigration?
The head of
for the whole
immigration
country?
For the whole country.
For them to allow you
for them to allow us to go through.
Wow.
They would not listen to anything. We told them our visas are expiring today. They wouldn't listen.
Wow. Yeah, this is Cameroon.
Yeah. Cameroon has a lot of work to do. But the people are very warm.
And the roads weren't that good as well?
No. I mean, Cameroon has some very bad roads. I'm sure you would see.
This is Yaoundé.
Not just in Yaoundé.
The
whole place is I wouldn't call it a construction site, because if it's a construction site, it means there's hope of something happening.
But how can a country that does so well in football?
And not just football. Look, Cameroon can feed the whole Africa.
Oh, really?
They call Cameroon the miniature Africa. You know, where it is situated, you can plant anything in Cameroon and it will grow.
And yet
they've got massive youth unemployment, bad infrastructure. It's unbelievable.
What about Benin?
Benin is one of the new discoveries. And for us in West Africa, at least, if other parts of Africa are farther enough, at least let's do Benin.
Benin is nice.
So Benin wants to rake in on tourism. And Benin is completely visa-free.
Is it?
For African nationals.
So you could enter?
You could enter.
Wow. They're
generating a lot of revenue. The roads are beautiful. You know, they've got serious monuments, tourist attraction. They're planting a lot of trees. In Ghana, Cotonou, and some other parts of it. So it's not just Cotonou, but other parts of Benin as well. And I keep saying that in Ghana we plant the trees, but we don't water them. I mean, no trees, no flowers with blossom if you don't water them. And that is one of the shortcomings of the Ministry of Local Government. They've got to get their act together. You don't expect the president to come down and say, do this or do that. You know, get people to plant the flowers, beautify the place, keep it green, water it. That's what happens in Rwanda.
How's the infrastructure in Benin?
Beautiful. And I'm sure you'd see because I hadn't visited Benin in about 13 years. And so the visit in August was an eye-opener. And I'm like, wow.
How different is Benin from Togo?
Well, Benin miles ahead in terms of...
They are miles ahead of Togo?
Way ahead. In terms of
see.
beautification, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of putting in place the building block. It was in Togo that we got harassed. Exiting into Benin, it had to take, Ghana embassy officials in Benin to, meet us at the border.
Togo wasn't allowing you to go to Benin?
They wanted bribe. And I said, come on, this is West Africa. I'm not paying a dime to cross, because as West African nationals...
Togo people wanted to do you out to enter Benin.
If I get harassed in East Africa or...
It's fine, but not in Benin or Togo?
Not in West Africa.
No, you won't agree.
No.
How was Nigeria?
Nigeria is a potpourri of potential and challenges. You take Calabar, for instance, green, beautiful.
Yeah.
You take Lagos, organized chaos, filth.
Oh, God.
Poor infrastructure. Again, you go to the capital, Abuja.
So you did Abuja too?
Yeah, we did Abuja. From Lagos, we drove all the way to Abuja.
Wow.
Because that's the seat of government, and...
met officials?
We met officials. I mean, if they could replicate what they're doing in Abuja, in other parts of Nigeria, they would...
So Abuja was organized?
Abuja was organized, but a lot of eastern part of Nigeria had a lot of challenges.
The roads?
The roads. So it was only in Nigeria, this is Nigeria, it was only in Nigeria that we used armed escort.
Serious?
Because of kidnapping and...
So these are your armed escorts?
These are police officials.
With guns?
With guns. 2 police vehicles, who escorted us all the way from Abuja to the east of...
Hey.
Yes. And that took us 2 days to get to the border with Cameroon.
You were advised to use armed...
I mean, you don't want to drive through terrorist-prone area, kidnappings.
But you are not in the north.
No. But, in the east, there are a lot of, but, Nigeria has challenges. I hate to say this. These are our brothers in West Africa. Massive respect.
So Nasiru Bello is this man. I see it
Nasiru Bello, Nigerian police force, one of the officers. And he was telling us about how happy and excited he is to see what, we were doing. And he strongly feels that if Africa unites, it would be well. So
you needed armed escort in Nigeria?
You can't drive through, Abuja without armed escort. And it's the only country. So one of the things we thought we would do with this campaign is to prove that it is possible to actually travel by road in Africa, in at least majority of the countries.
Oh, you met the man?
So President Obasanjo...
The great Baba himself?
This is Addis Ababa.
Okay.
Last week.
Okay.
He invited
at the AU. He invited me to the AU.
At the side event. So he wanted to hear what we were doing.
Wow.
And what, they have the committee of elders.
Okay.
Made up of Mbeki, himself, and some senior.
Was he happy to see you?
More than happy. And he met President Mahama the following day, and they actually discussed what we are doing with our president.
You arrived, though. Obasanjo and Mahama discussing Ras Mubarak. Oh, wonderful. Discussing
African integration.
Amazing.
And how they could, leverage on their influence to support our
So you
cause.
just came from Addis?
I just got back from Addis.
Amazing. I'd like you to talk a bit about your last leg when we come back. But this is the point of view. We are basically talking to Ras Mubarak on his 160 days across Africa. We hope you're enjoying it. Stay with us. This is around the world around Africa in 160 days. Ras Mubarak traveling with 7 others across over 30 African countries in 160 days. Ras, let's talk about Senegal back down. I'm told a lot of people that Senegal is a nice country. They are welcoming.
They've got a beautiful beach. They've moved their airport from the city to some 20 kilometers out of Dakar. And so they are opening up. We can't concentrate everything in the capital cities. They're stretching things, and you see a lot of high-rise buildings. They're planting a lot of trees. Senegal is closer to the north, climate change, etc. So you need to be able to do that. I don't see that effort here. You hear about 1 million trees planted. We plant them, we don't nurture them, and they die. And we go back to sleep. The following year, in Ghana, we plant 1 million. You don't see that vibe in other part of
so they take the greening thing more seriously.
They're taking the greening thing more seriously, especially because of climate change. You know, the weather in Senegal can be very rough and harsh. You know, and a lot of the countries are, I mean, you go to
it's Sahelian, right?
It's Sahelian. I mean, if you go to Morocco, same thing. You know, Rwanda, same thing. A lot of countries have got their job well cut out for them, and they understand what they need to do. You see, Ben, tourism is deliberate. You've got to be deliberate about beautifying your cities and towns. And so if you appoint MMDCs who've never even been to Togo, you know, no disrespect.
They have no world view of how
they have no world view of how things should be. You know, they have no world view of green spaces, you know, new technology, of giving people tickets for wrongful parking. And there's so much we can do. I mean,
and this is happening in African countries?
Rwanda. And I keep mentioning...
Which country was the most impressive in terms of development?
In terms of development, Equatorial Guinea. Now, Equatorial Guinea, because of what has been written about them, they've actually been written off as some tin pot, you know, back alley of Africa. But it's a completely different ball game, and you've seen that. Of course, Rwanda, I think they are under-marketing their country.
So it's better than hyped?
Oh, it's better than hyped. Even Uganda is better than hyped. And if you want to see the beauty of a lot of the African countries, travel out of the you know, capitals. Luanda in Angola, beautiful. But if you go to places like Lubango, Point Noah, my goodness.
They've left them, or they are nice?
They are so beautiful.
Is it?
You know, and...
so where is this?
This has got to be Luanda.
Luanda?
In Angola, yes. This
wow.
Beautiful.
But we're told it's an expensive city.
It is an expensive city. I mean, the only thing that is cheapest is, you know, this is Maputo, Mozambique. So this is Chinese-built...
wow. Chinese-built bridge?
Bridge.
Over a water body?
Over a water body.
How long is that bridge?
The bridge is about 3 kilometers.
Wow.
You know, a beautiful bridge.
This is Mozambique?
This is Mozambique.
Maputo? And
this is one of our vehicles, you know, in your shot.
I notice a lot of the countries, the lines and the roads are well marked.
Roads are well marked. I mean, even the lighting at night, Bernard.
It's brighter than Accra.
You drive through Accra, what would it take? Because the public is charged for street lighting. What would it take to keep the lights on? I mean, we've got beautiful parts of Accra. I'm not, you know, poo-pooing or rubbishing my country.
This is Katembe.
You know, but you've got to keep the lights on to beautify the place. So in the night,
some of these places were well lit.
Well lit. You know, you've got to keep it clean. You've got to keep it green.
Wow. So this is Mozambique.
This is Maputo.
Before the floods, because there were lots of rains a few weeks ago. Senegal too is doing well. Cote d'Ivoire is not straight. How was Cote d'Ivoire?
Cote d'Ivoire doing well for themselves. They're getting their indicators right.
Did you have any problems there?
No. I mean, we got in at the time they were transitioning, because the thinking was to meet Alassane Ouattara, but he hadn't even formed this. Because
he had just won the election.
He had just won the election. He had dismissed the government. Same for Guinea, Conakry. Conakry, we met with the Prime Minister, but the cabinet had been dismissed because it was a new government. Conakry, again, is one country that needs a lot of catching up. There's the potential, but there's a lot of filth. And I think we can transform all of the filth, you know, the rubbish, the plastics, into wealth, into, you know, recycle them into something very exciting.
Are the French-speaking countries open to Pan-Africanism? What did you get a sense of a difference in opinion about the continent when you were in English-speaking from French-speaking? I mean, I don't know whether it's because of the language, but, you know, the reception and the warmth in English-speaking countries were completely different. But in Congo DR, in Congo Brazzaville, you know, we walk on the red carpet. So Congo, the two Congos are different from the other French-speaking? The two Congos are different. Even Angola, you know, which is Portuguese, completely different. You know, I can't say the same thing for, you know, Togo. Or Cameroon. Cameroon, but they really harassed you. Or Cameroon. Wow. You know, but the thing with the integration of the African continent is that we can't get everybody joining at the same time. And for me, let's start with those who are ready. Nkrumah did this with Guinea, Ghana, Mali in the 60s when the Monrovia group... You have 60 seconds to tell me who you want to acknowledge and say thank you to for this fantastic Trans-Africa Tourism and Unity campaign. So we couldn't have done this without the, you know, government of the Republic of Ghana. So many thanks to the President, especially to the Chief of Staff and the Foreign Minister. We thank them exceedingly. To all our partners, there are too many, you know, Telecel, Glyco, NIB, wonderful, you know, City, ChannelOne. Yeah. We thank you exceedingly. We understand these things because we also travel. Ras Mubarak, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed this wild ride across 32 African countries in 160 days. Thanks for watching. Let's make Africa work again. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.